In a scenario that seems lifted straight from one of modern football's best scripts, Liverpool and Bournemouth are on the verge of completing a £25 million transfer for Ben Doak, a deal that promises to be a landmark both for the clubs involved and for the market as a whole. In the year 2025, this strategic move not only consolidates Liverpool's astute decisions regarding squad management, but also opens doors for other exciting movements in the European market. The young Scot, signed for just £600,000 from Celtic in 2022, has transformed into one of Liverpool's most valuable academy assets, demonstrating that when it comes to planning for the future, the Reds know precisely where to invest. With the transfer to Bournemouth, it is expected that Anfield will implement a virtuous cycle of profits and reinforcements, reaffirming its position as both a financial and sporting giant. The impact of this transaction goes far beyond the nominal transfer fee. For Liverpool, the sale of Ben Doak represents a unique opportunity to further strengthen their purchasing power while planning new acquisitions for the first team. The Reds' management has worked tirelessly to shape a competitive squad, evident in the various signings already made this year. Since Arne Slot's arrival as head coach, the club has spent significant sums to bring in immediate reinforcements, many of whom have already debuted in the Community Shield. However, this strategy is not one-sided. While investing heavily, the Reds have also capitalised on intelligent player sales. Names such as Jural Quansah, Luis Diaz and Darwin Núñez have left Anfield in recent months, with transfers totalling around £140 million. Other notable cases include Calvin Kelleher, Trent Alexander-Arnold and Tyler Morton, homegrown players who generated considerable fees for the club. This approach not only helps maintain financial balance, but also reinforces Liverpool's reputation as a talent factory. But why is Ben Doak specifically so important in this story? The 19-year-old, classified as a homegrown player at Anfield, has always faced challenges in securing regular minutes in the starting 11, primarily due to Mohamed Salah's imposing presence in the attacking line. Despite this, his technical qualities and versatility have drawn attention from several clubs, including Porto, who were recently informed that the deal with Bournemouth is finalised. According to renowned transfer expert Fabrizio Romano, the final details are being adjusted, and all indications are that the player will soon move to his new club. The transfer will not only provide Liverpool with an impressive financial return, but also allow Doak to flourish in an environment where he can enjoy more opportunities to shine. It is a win-win situation for all parties involved. Moreover, this deal has indirect implications far beyond the borders of Merseyside. With Doak's departure secured, Liverpool can now focus their efforts on another major target, Alexander Isak, the Swedish striker currently at Newcastle. Although the Magpies are reluctant to part with their main goalscorer, rumours suggest they will only do so once they have secured adequate replacements. One of these potential reinforcements is Yoane Wissa from Brentford, whose transfer is already well advanced. Interestingly, Brentford agreed to release Wissa after receiving a record £42.5 million offer for fullback Dango Awatara, who is expected to move from the London club to Bournemouth. And here comes the final piece of this fascinating puzzle. Awatara's natural replacement at Bournemouth will be none other than Ben Doak. Thus, we see how each transfer is interconnected, forming a complex web that reflects the ingenuity of the football market. The decision to sell Doak can also be seen as part of a broader strategic vision at Liverpool. Over recent years, the club has embraced a sell-to-reinvest philosophy, which has yielded impressive results. Players who may not have sufficient space in the first team are sold for significant fees, generating resources for new talent acquisitions. Furthermore, these transactions tend to be particularly profitable when they involve homegrown players, as the net profit recorded in the accounts is substantially higher. This business model not only ensures financial health, but also allows the club to remain competitive on multiple fronts. With Mark Guehi and Alexander Isak in their sights, Liverpool is prepared to make further bold moves in the market, solidifying its position among the world's elite. It is worth noting that the timing of these movements is crucial. While Bournemouth prepares their squad for the upcoming season, Liverpool is building a team capable of competing at the highest level in both the Premier League and the Champions League. The sale of Ben Doak should therefore not be seen as a loss, but as an essential chapter in this journey. The young Scot, despite his potential, found himself in the difficult situation at Anfield, where the path to the starting 11 was blocked by established stars. Now he will have the chance to prove his worth at a club that will undoubtedly invest in his development. Liverpool, meanwhile, will continue their relentless pursuit of titles, relying on strategic reinforcements and exemplary financial management. In this context, it is almost impossible to wonder, how far can Liverpool go with this innovative approach? The answer may become clearer in the coming weeks as negotiations for Isak and Guehi gain further momentum. If all goes according to plan, Red supporters can expect a rejuvenated squad brimming with talent and ready to face any challenge. At the same time, Bournemouth will have in Ben Doak a player determined to show the world that he belongs at the top of European football. This story, still unfolding, promises to continue surprising and inspiring fans around the globe, proving that football is, above all, a game of connections, strategies, and dreams.
This Liverpool movement, however, is not limited solely to the transfer of Ben Doak or speculations surrounding Alexander Isak. It reflects a broader pattern of how major clubs are adapting their strategies to navigate an increasingly globalized and competitive market. In recent years, European football has seen a significant shift in how teams manage their resources. Decisions made by sporting directors and coaching staff are no longer based solely on a player's individual talent, but also on a careful analysis of how these athletes can fit into a larger ecosystem, encompassing financial, commercial, and even cultural aspects. The case of Ben Doak is emblematic in this regard. A promising young player with growing market value, yet in need of an opportunity to develop on the pitch, something Liverpool, with its star-studded squad, could not provide at the moment. Here lies another fascinating lesson from this story: the role of smaller clubs, such as Bournemouth, in this ecosystem. Teams like Bournemouth, though lacking the financial power or prestige of giants like Liverpool, play a crucial role in player development and the overall dynamics of the market. By acquiring Ben Doak, Bournemouth not only strengthens their own squad, but also takes on the responsibility of helping a young talent reach his full potential. For Doak, this transfer represents a unique opportunity to show the world that he can be more than a prospect. He can become a complete player capable of competing at the highest levels. For Bournemouth, on the other hand, it means attracting attention and, potentially, future revenue through a subsequent sale or an increase in the player's market value. Another interesting point is how modern transfers have become genuine chains of events. As seen with Yoane Wissa, Dango Ouattara, and Ben Doak, a single transaction can trigger a series of movements affecting multiple clubs and leagues. This demonstrates that contemporary football is not just about goals and victories on the pitch, but also about complex networks of business and partnerships off it. Clubs are increasingly aware that, to thrive, they need to think holistically, connecting all pieces of the puzzle. Liverpool, once again, emerges as a brilliant example of this mindset. By selling players like Doak and pursuing reinforcements such as Isak and Guehi, the club is not just assembling a competitive team, it is creating a sustainable structure capable of guaranteeing long-term success. Thus, as we follow the next chapters of this saga, whether the official confirmation of Ben Doak's transfer, the negotiations for Alexander Isak, or Bournemouth's squad changes, it is clear that football continues to reflect modern society, dynamic, interconnected, and full of possibilities. And regardless of who wins the next matches or championships, the true triumph lies in the sport's ability to unite people, generate excitement, and fuel dreams.